Right guys, so we're back. It's Saturday morning. We are at Infinity Gym in Coleshill. About to get our upper body session in. And as always, we bring you guys with us. So we haven't actually got a plan for the workout today. We're just winging it. We're starting if you watch the last video, you'll see us talking about the lower body training block, which we just finished basically. So Troy's been on a deload. I've been doing my last week of it. So today and tomorrow is sort of like a little break in between. So Saturday morning, we've got Tykes here, we're going to get upper body session in. And we're just going to wing it. We're not really going with a training plan, so to speak. More of a push arm session and just have a good Saturday morning pump, you know, them old school squad Saturday sessions. So we'll take you through the workout. And yeah, just join us for the day.
Pokemon talks, so probably like a midlife crisis or a mental breakdown, either one. Just started buying Pokemon cards right now.
So you got the basic, but there's different ones. Shadowless basic, Vinicius,
So no Venusaur, Hitmonchan, Mewtwo. I don't even know.
Mewtwo. Bro, do you want me to show you what I've got?
And then,
You don't want to know what I've got? No, you don't want to know what I've got, bro. This is what I'm saying. I'm just going to come out and I'm just going to be like,
Right guys, so as I said, today's workout, we just sort of go with the flow a little bit, just enjoying a bit of a session without too much structure. So I know we always bang on about structure and routine, but as I said, we're in between blocks. So just for Saturday morning, we're gonna get a good pump on, a good upper session. So we just put a little workout together whilst we're having our pre-workouts. Long story short, we're gonna go through, we're gonna pre-exhaust the down, so we're gonna go 4 sets of side raises, 2 sets of heavy shoulder presses, 2 sets of heavy incline chest presses, then into some pull downs, some rear downs, some arms. So upper body session. Right, but you know, back in the day where you would train and then Saturday you go out and you're going out on a Saturday, so you do your little chest and little arms workout. So similar sort of process to that, but still want it to be progressive. So pre-exhausting first, the 4 sets, something that we used to do quite a lot. Now we pretty much just do warm-up sets, so our working sets. But especially with the shoulder press, Tykes wanted to do some dumbbell shoulder presses, not any of our strongest movements. So when I have a situation like that, I much prefer to pre-exhaust a little bit, so then we can still go as heavy as we can with the shoulder presses. But we're going to get more out of the movement on the weights that we can manage to do. So we're going to keep it going, 4 working sets of shoulder raises, we'll go from there. I'm not a spiritual talk, like my man's was deep, and I'm talking about past life and that. But I feel like if you was there and you're just not open to it, you'd be like, grateful. Yeah, whereas I'm just taking it all in and it was good. We're talking about Kambo, by the way, guys. So probably most of you won't know what it is, but I did a Kambo ceremony on Tuesday. It's a bit mad if you're not into that stuff, but long story short, it's about a spiritual awakening and cleansing the body of toxins, negative energy and stuff like that. So it's like a physical ceremony and a spiritual ceremony as well. Very intense, but a really good experience. Shout out to Tiny and the Kambo kid. But yeah, I'll probably touch on that maybe on another video because it's a long story. And every time someone asks me, I have to tell them when it's long. So but yeah, I'm on my spiritual path. Good vibes.
So I sent Scott a photo because I was so pleased. The heaviest I've ever been in my life on Thursday. It was 14.1 and a quarter. I'm claiming the quarter as well. So we checked it on Friday, still the same weight. So we've got to hold this weight for a bit longer now and push into the new realms of this off season, which is exciting for me because I've spoke about it in a lot of videos. Where I'm at now has been my heaviest point, and this is where we normally actually start prep. So from here we've got 12 months of pushing before we diet down, and like I said, I've literally just hit 89.5 kilo. I want to push into around about the 95 mark if I can, and then close to the 100. If I get to close to 100 kilo in the next 12 months, that'll be crazy. But like I said, we're going to take our time, we're going to do it steady and then diet down, hopefully looking to do something like an under 90s class. If I can stay around the top end of the under 90s, that'll be like 10 kilo of muscle in a year, because I was at the top end of the under 80s last year. So that's a lot of muscle in a good amount of time, so we just got to stay consistent.
We haven't dumbbell shoulder press in forever. Tykes wanted to do this today, and now everyone's moaning about the shoulders. But once the plan's set, that's it. There's no going back on it now. So it's 2 working sets we're gonna go through. I said it's one of my worst movements. Even though delts are probably one of my better body parts, my actual shoulder press is not as strong as you'd expect it to be. But it's what it is. You got to work with what you got. So 2 working sets. Go.
Felt alright. Felt alright. 2 sets. Go lighter. Easy. Yep. Come on. Yep. Oh. As we kind of get older and build our knowledge on exercises, we actually had a conversation with Joe, and I can't remember the correct term, but basically saying, for what is it, Scott? The value of...
It's like risk versus reward.
Yeah.
It's what you're going to get out of the exercises versus how much it's going to take out of you. So
yeah. So certain exercises like pressing, squatting, deadlifting, for what you're going to get out of them in terms of building muscle compared to, you know, a different exercise, maybe isolation work or something, which is better value for the risk and reward, if that makes sense. So we've obviously come away from heavy overhead pressing, heavy squatting and deadlifting at this stage. Don't get me wrong, that's not to say those exercises are not fundamental, is that the right word?
Yeah.
And they build a good foundation. When we all started training deadlift, squats for the first, 4 years tops, that's all we used to do, and that builds a great foundation. So anyone who's starting training, I'd always recommend at least getting your compound movements in. But as we get older, and as Scott said, risk to reward ratio, those movements are not really adding any value to our physique and prolonging our career bodybuilding as well. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, 100%. Like now at this point, I love to deadlift, I always have done, but now I've built the physique I've got. Not that it's not worth me deadlifting, but the amount of time it's going to take me to recover from a hard deadlift session, the actual hypertrophy that I'm going to get from deadlifts is not worth that amount of time it's going to take me to recover, and so on and so forth. Whereas certain other exercises where we can really isolate the muscle group we're working, or focus on that contraction and time under tension, I'm going to get more out of that. I'm going to be able to recover from that, which means I'm going to be able to hit that muscle group again, comfortably the next time it comes around. So basically, we're getting old, we can't recover like we used to. We can't squat and deadlift in the same week because we'll be fucked. So that's not saying we don't do variations. So we still do RDLs, we still do hack squats, or just movements where we can really dictate the movement, the contraction, the tension, and just get the most out of it essentially.
Yeah. Hey.
So, as Troy was touching, and as I mentioned last video, we are well into the off season now. and in a really good position myself. As I was saying last week, coming back off the break I had of training, I had 3 weeks of training. 2 weeks of that I was in Jamaica, and just a full 3 weeks off, which I haven't had in ages. Even post show, I had about 8 to 9 days off, but then we're straight back to it. So fast forward to now, I'm at the heaviest I've been in a while. So I've just hit 18 stone, so I'm like hovering around 18.1. My heaviest off-season weight period was 18.4 last time round, but I was in nowhere near the condition I'm in now. So I was on way more food. So the peak of my last off-season, I was on about 750 gram of carbs, just under 6,000 calories, and I was at 18.4, carrying a good amount. I wasn't too fat, but carrying a good amount of body fat. Whereas now, I'm like 2 pounds off that, so like 18.1, 18.2 on a good day. My food is still super moderate, especially for my size and weight. You know, I'm on about 4,000 calories, 450 carbs, 230 protein, 45 fat. So, you know, normal eating really. I'm not really forcing anything down, but my body's just super responsive and we're growing. So, you know, supplements are really low, food's moderate. But training's going really well and we're growing, and as you can probably tell, anyone that's followed, you can tell this is the best condition I've been in at this weight. So as we push for the rest of the off season, we've still got essentially a year before we even look to shows. We want to have this whole year as an off season. I'd like to get to 120 kilos in relatively good body composition. So I'm at 115 now, just under 114.5. So over the year, if I can put 5 kilos on and stay around this body composition, obviously I know I'm going to put a bit of body fat on, but as long as I can stay in relatively good shape, I think if I can hit 120 and hold and maintain that, when it comes around to time to prep again, it's going to leave me in a really good position. And we saw what happened this year with prep, so I'm excited for that. But until then, I'm just enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying the flexibility of my diet. I'm enjoying the training, although we're just as regimented with our routine as we are on prep. It's still not as much pressure as a competition prep, so it's a lot more enjoyable. And because we're all in the off season together, you know, we can enjoy going out for food, we can enjoy doing certain things, and just enjoy the bodybuilding lifestyle, which is my favourite thing about it. You know, I'm in a position now where we're flexible with everything, with our time, with our business. We do our own projects, you know, we work for ourselves, so I'm almost basing my work around bodybuilding and then vice versa. So I'm very grateful for that, and it's working well. So yeah, man, that's where we're at. As I said, I've got another year to go this off season. So with all of us, you know, on the same wavelength. Obviously, I've got Joe Jeffries, who's still sort of like running the ship, so to speak. And who knows where we'll be at next year. So yeah, man, things are going good.
As Scott was saying, especially with this off-season right now, we're all kind of just enjoying a bit of flexibility with training and with dieting. You know, 100%, 90% of the time we're regimented when it comes to training. Obviously, we've got a set plan to follow. The same goes for food as well, but I think you half lose the enjoyment when you don't get to actually go out and enjoy social events or certain foods that you want to try. And I think the off-season is the prime time to do that. You know, we try and educate our clients over the fact of you haven't got to stick to that plan 100% of the time. You should be able to go out with your friends and still have a level of control over what foods you eat and stuff. So, you know, at the moment, when it comes to training, like Scott said, we're having a little bit of flexibility. Yes, we've got our plans set in place, but like today, we're at a new gym. Shout out to Infinity Fitness as well, where we're just trying out some new equipment and just putting together a workout which is similar to what we do, but again, a little bit of flexibility, just having a bit of fun and still getting a good workout. And then when it comes to food as well, eating off plan I think is a massive part of bodybuilding, because you've got to have that healthy relationship with food when you're stuck to a plan for so long, especially when it comes to dieting as well. A lot of people will understand you half build a bad relationship with food, and this is what we're trying to educate people on, and this is what we've got a really, really healthy balance with at the moment, is going out, enjoying foods within our food range, not counting macros and not having that fixated focus on having to weigh out your food and just enjoying it. I think that's a massive part of it as well. You know, bodybuilding is a very, very serious sport, and I think if you don't find some form of enjoyment from it, you know, you're never going to do well at the end of the day. And I think that's what we've got right now. So we're having a little workout where we're, like, again, having a bit of flexibility with it, trying out some things. It's very similar to what we do with our upper split, but again, not having that plan to follow. The focus isn't so much on was it like lump uplifting that people say? Well, our focus isn't lump uplifting today. Our focus is getting a good session in, having a good, I don't want to say laugh because it's like we're taking the piss when we're training, but we're not. We're still getting a good session in. Remember, we've trained for years, so we know how to train and we know what weights to do and what numbers to lift and stuff like that. But I think the point I'm trying to get across here is, I feel like I'm chatting a load of shit, but the point I'm trying to get across is the enjoyment factor is a massive part of bodybuilding. That doesn't mean we're going completely AWOL with training and diet, but it means having a good understanding of the foods that we can eat while still having enjoyment from it, and when it comes to training as well.
But remember, that is the understanding that you already have your solid, fundamental, basic routine and structure locked in. So we have our routine in terms of our food, in terms of our diet, our supplementation. We can adhere to our plan 100%. So because we can do that, we can afford to have that flexibility here and there when we want, because we know we're going to snap straight back into the routine. So if you're someone that hasn't already established a solid routine and you've been consistent for a prolonged period of time with your diet, training, nutrition, then that doesn't apply to you. You need to get that locked down first. But then after that point, especially where we are within 10 years plus training, we have to keep the enjoyment going. So it's about having that flexibility, like Troy was saying.
Get a little cameo. So for everyone watching, this is Chelsea's dad. He owns this gym as well. So as a fun fact here, how's this been here?
10 years now.
10 years in the making. If you're ever around Colesville, Birmingham area, make sure you come and check out Infinity Fitness.
And as Tyke would say, the real OG. The real OG.
The real OG. And not only have we got the gym here, we've got food next door, so we're going to get some food after as well. So all under one roof as well, guys.
So, as Troy was saying earlier, Infinity Caf, as you can see, right next door to the gym. So absolutely ideal in terms of training, getting our food in. So obviously, as we were talking about earlier, a little bit of a flexible day in regards to training. We just sort of went with the flow, really good session, and then same with food. Most of the rest of the meals are on point for the day in regards to plans and whatnot. But while we're here, it would be rude not to get stuck in and get some of the food. So as you would have just seen on the little edit that Dan would have done, salmon, some fries, you got chicken.
Yeah.
So, and it's banging, so we're going to get stuck into this. But as I said, for anyone that's local, or not even anyone that's local, anyone in Birmingham or coming through, make sure you pass through, because sick gym, sick atmosphere, you got the food right next door. What more could you want? Perfect. But yeah, as Troy was saying, little post-workout meal, macros, calories, etc. Not even worrying about that at this point in time, because like I said, the rest of the day is on point. So and we have that flexibility in regards to trying to hit our targets and whatnot. So yeah, man.
Pretty much sums it up for today. It's been a nice chill day. We don't get to see Tyke much because it's grafting in the week as well. So Saturdays is always Tiger's Day, which we always say in the video as well. So
Appreciate that, thank you.
It's literally Tiger's Day. We have a little catch up, because normally, as you see, we used to training with him each and every day, but Saturdays are, I suppose, a little bit different for us, because we normally train a little bit earlier. No work on the Saturdays. All emails are done yesterday, so it means got my graft until like 12 o'clock last night. So it was a nice, relaxed, productive.
It's like a day off, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, there's no days off when it comes to business, because we're constantly working. But to have a little bit of a bit more time to ourselves, to focus on bits and bobs around the house, or it's got to go back to all the dogs. So it never stops. But like I said, having a little bit more time to ourselves, I think is a little bit of relief sometimes. Like I said, we can enjoy training, enjoy some food, and enjoy the weekend. So that's it for today, guys. Like I said, hope you all enjoyed the video as always. We'll be catching back up with you again on Thursday, which I think is going to be an upper body session Thursday. So next week we're starting our first week of the new leg block. So as you'll probably have noticed, we've been training legs 3 times a week. This week has been our deloads, and now we're back on legs from next week. So we'll catch up with you guys on Thursday. So as always, comment, like, share and subscribe, and I guess we'll see you in the next video.